Joining us now to look ahead to the game is a man who won 47 caps for England, won 2 FA Cups with Arsenal. A very, very good morning to Theo Walcott. Hello.
Good morning, mate. How are you?
Good morning, guys. 47, it would have been nice to get to 50, eh?
Oh, no, we started on a negative, didn't we?
No, it's fine, not at all. 47's enough. It's enough.
How are you doing, Theo? You're looking really well.
Thank you. Well, I've been up very early, as you can imagine, with children, back at school, back to a normal week. Had a nice little breakaway during half term. So, yeah, I'm probably a little bit out of practice today, guys, so bear with me.
Don't worry, honestly, it's fine. We've got loads of time to play with, so you can take your time with everything. Awesome. We're going to get you started straight away, though, on England. Sorry. Throw you straight in there. How's it going to go tonight? How did England go to Germany and get a good result after what you saw in the last game? And do you think it'll be changed up a little bit?
Yeah, I feel like it will be changed just because we looked a bit leggy. And no fault of any players. It's just been a long season for a lot of, the young guys. And it's not just physically, but mentally, it drains you. But they need to make sure they're not really thinking about being tired, because you're going to away at Germany. Yeah, not going to be favourites, I wouldn't have thought. It's going to be pretty tricky. But obviously we had that win back in the Euros, which was, a positive. So we've got to look back at that, look at the positives from that. But of course, be mindful of the threat that Germany have, because they're a young, sort of experienced team now developing, just similar to England, to be fair. So it'd be very interesting, come the World Cup in the winter, which sounds very strange saying, but yeah, in the winter.
Theo, what do you think, mate? Obviously, Gareth's job, which everybody in the country reckons they can do better than Gareth. We all know that goes without saying. Do you think one or two of the journalists have been level a little bit of criticism, saying, I asked Benty earlier on, they're saying he's a wee bit too defensive, he protects his back two or his back three. Do you think he needs to perhaps open up a little bit and be more attack minded?
We need to be a little bit careful on the fact of being negative on a one result, particularly. I feel like I don't want it to go down the path of, Darren may know as well, when we were playing with England, it was very, at times it can be very negative with separation with the media as well, which I think is improved massively. I think that helps. So we need to be careful and just to stick behind them like we've been doing in the Euros. But of course, yes, when you've got so many attacking players, like you say, everyone can manage England, can't it? It's easy just sitting behind a screen on the Football Manager or something like that and just manage England. But, he's got to manage a lot of top quality players in that dressing room. He's got to make sure they all get on as well, because there will be some sort of things that we don't even see, we don't even hear about, which he would keep in camp. And for me, he's done a fantastic job. It's simple as that. And it's, like I say, don't expect wonders tonight, but I expect an England performance which is going to be at a level where he wants everyone to be. And you've got players that are on the bench that, they want to not just sit there and be bench warmers. For instance, I look at one of my teammates, James Ward-Prowse. He's a player that, for me, not just his free kicks, which everyone needs to come out, away from. He can contribute so much more in that team. And as well, of course, when you have free kicks in competitions, it's always fine margins these games come down to. So I feel like he could be a big factor tonight if he plays, obviously.
You touched on him there, Theo, and I wanted to ask you about him, James Ward-Prowse, because as you said there, a lot of people, whenever you associate James Ward-Prowse with anything, they always say, he's got good free kicks. But do you think he's underrated?
I think he's underrated. Well, I do a little bit, to be honest. I really do. I feel like because of his free kicks, everyone sort of overshadow what he actually does on a football field on a consecutive 90 minutes. He's played so many games consistently as well at a high level in the Premier League, which is no, you would know, Darren, it's not easy. And like I said, I've seen it consistently in training. He doesn't overwhelm himself with the free kicks. He only does a few on a Thursday and a Friday. And it's the way he prepares. It's so similar to a match day. And he's his levels are very high. And obviously, he wants to be in that England team. He doesn't want to be on that bench. So I'm very intrigued. I always like to see how he's getting on. So I'll be definitely watching tonight, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we have a free kick. I suppose everyone would expect it to go in.
I want to ask you about one of your other former teammates, because Gareth Bale, you were both at Saints when you were younger. And I don't know if you've seen the stories this morning linking him with Cardiff. So Cardiff have been really vocal about the fact that they would like to bring him there. They're the only ones that are vocal about it at the moment, but you'd imagine there's a lot more going on behind the scenes with someone like Gareth Bale. Could you bring him back to Southampton, do you think?
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, I'm not the right man to answer that, because I would love him there, of course. But there's a lot of teams. Of course, it's Gareth Bale. You know, you can see what he does for Wales. It shows that he's still fit, hungry, and it'd be very interesting. You know, I'm intrigued, to be honest. He's actually ignored my message the other day, so I'm not really pleased about that. Unless he's changed his number, I don't really know. But it's I'm like the whole world in the whole transfer market this year. It's going to be so much movement, and I'm looking forward to not just him, but many players as well. Very intrigued.
I'm going to ask you about that then, because there was a report in this morning's paper. Bukayo Saka might be of interest, or is of great interest, to Manchester City.
I hope not.
I know
likewise.
You hope not, Benty, and I know you definitely don't want that to happen either, would you? Mm-hmm. But how difficult would that be for that young man, who's with a great club right now, make no mistake about it, but you would have to say he would be improving his chances of winning things. How difficult would it be not to turn that young man's head when I move to Manchester City?
Well, obviously there's a sort of transition stage of Arsenal, which Mikel's part of, and he's massively part of it, you know, building the team around him, really. There's that sort of young crop of generation players coming through at Arsenal. I feel like they need to keep hold of him. It's simple as that. But, you know, Man City, obviously they come knocking on the door. It's such a hard thing for any player to really to turn down, but I feel like he's very young. He likes the area, London, Arsenal. The fans have been fantastic. The Emirates to play your football as well, which I know it's one of the best stadiums I've ever played in. He's got great support, and I'll be intrigued, but you know, my heart's saying he'll be at Arsenal for next season, and we'll see after that. But as well, he's got to think as well, the playing opportunities will be limited as well at Man City, but of course you'll be more likely to win things. But it's not saying Arsenal won't win things. I feel like they're in that phase of, you know, they're slowly starting to get there. I think we would have taken 5th at the start of the season, considering how it went. You know, I actually saw Mikel during half-term break, and I spoke to him a little bit, and he's very intrigued to see when the all or nothing thing comes out, which would be interesting to watch for everyone to see. But I'm very hopeful that it'll be at Arsenal next season. I'm pretty sure of that.
So you said that you spoke to Mikel Arteta, and a lot of people and a lot of Arsenal fans are maybe torn on him as manager, 50-50. Can you understand that? Because I'm very firmly in Arteta's camp, but can you understand why some of the Arsenal fans would maybe want him to move on?
You know, obviously everyone's entitled to their opinion. I understand some, you know, fans may have, you know, sort of a different approach from where Mikel's dealt with the situation this season. But for me personally, I feel like he's trying to get the sort of similar sort of vibes I had with Arsene. I think he's trying to bring that back into the club, that sort of tradition of the way Arsene dealt with players, the way he dealt with the media, the way he dealt with, you know, the fans as well. I feel like he wants that back. And as well, he's young, he's hungry. You know, speaking to his wife as well, you don't even see him. He's that much work ethic he has. You know, she doesn't really want him to work for too long because she doesn't really see him. So, Mikel, he was the sort of player as well, which would work so hard. So I can, you know, manage him as a manager. He's relentless and he's always forward thinking about the next picture, the next project. And for me, I truly think he's part of that. And I do hope that, you know, obviously he signed his contract as well, which so that obviously shows that the club are, you know, going in the right direction with him, part of that. I'm like I said, I'm with you. I'm in. You know, I'm a big fan. So is my son. Actually, he actually asked Arlo, my son asked, you should sign my daddy because you need an older player in the dressing room. I was like, oh, thanks, Arlo.
What did Arteta say?
I think he just went over his head. I think
he makes a good point, though. On that subject, what about your future? We've got another year left at Saints, and any plans for the future that you can share with us?
What can I share with you? I can share with you it's a nice peaceful home at the moment with the kids at school. I'm obviously I've started a lot of my pre-season work. You know, Saints that gets to do a lot of things to keep fit. I need to do a lot anyway because, you know, I didn't really play last season as much for whatever reason. So I'm, you know, looking after myself to keep up with these young lads. But I'm intrigued to see what happens next, to be honest. I'm looking forward to pre-season because, you know, I think it's probably my 20th pre-season. I don't even know. I've lost count, to be fair. So, and they brought back the yo-yo, which isn't nice. So,
horrible.
Yeah, there's no need for the yo-yo. There's no need. So,
explain to the listeners that don't know what the yo-yo is.
So basically, I remember doing it with Ingsy a couple of years ago, and it was only me and him because we came back a bit earlier. So the worst thing doing it with one other, you don't want to be the first to drop out. And basically you're running, I don't know what distance it is to a cone, then you have a bit of a cone to walk to, and then you've got to make it on the beep and run again, and then you have a little bit of a pause. But we were having a competition basically, and I'm like, I'm not dropping out first. I'm not dropping out. And the 32, 33-year-old didn't drop out first. So I was quite pleased with that. But it's better in a big. Well, Ainsley did, but it's better in a big group. You need to make sure in a big group, just because. Yeah. You can sort of get away with the odd not getting to the cone, but obviously now you wear the GPSs and they can see every single step. So it doesn't really work too much now. But I'm not a fan. I'll be honest with you, it's not nice.
Also, as well, the goalkeeper. I'm guessing the goalkeepers do it weird because you can never get beat by a goalkeeper. That was always the rule. They've got to drop out first. So if they're fit, you just got to keep going to the goalkeepers drop out.
Yeah, goalkeepers honestly they can't even do the sprint test as well on their own. And you've got to be a keeper. If you don't be a keeper, you might as well just pack your bags and not even play football. So
Oh, amazing, Theo. We'll let you go. Thank you very much.
Thanks, mate. All the best.
Enjoy your quiet day now the kids are back at school, and we love having you on. So we'll speak to you again very soon.
Perfect.
Take
See
care.
you later, guys.
Theo Walcott
Bye-bye.
there, former England forward, Southampton man, on talkSPORT Breakfast.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.